These 3 girls, 3 sisters, the Decker sisters, apparently, allegedly killed by their father, Travis Decker, who has some mental health issues. God, any bloody big mental health issues to kill your 3 young little daughters. So apparently, he was trying to get back with his ex-partner. He had weekend rights to the children. How that was ever allowed, I have no idea. The mother was trying to fight against those rights, wasn't she? She was trying to say, you know, he was dangerous. I mean, what's really irritating, I think, about this case is the mother of these lovely girls. She tried her very best to tell the courts how dangerous her ex-husband was. And she was not listened to, was she? She was not listened to. So their father, unfortunately for them, was this man, Travis Decker. And he took them for their weekend weekend visit. And it actually wasn't weekend, was it? It was just 4 hours he was allowed to have them. Sorry, yeah, that's coming back to me now. Wasn't a weekend visit he was allowed. He was supposed to get the children back by 8 o'clock that day. And 8 o'clock came and went, and he did not bring these little angels back. So the mother started to worry and contacted the police. Yeah, it wasn't a weekend visit. It was just a couple of hours that he was allowed. He should never have been allowed to take those children. But anyway, that's an investigation, I suppose, down the line. You know, not that it'll help these 3 girls. They're dead. Their bodies have been found. They had plastic bags put over their head. Their wrists were tied behind their back with zip ties. You know, just foul what happened to them at the hands of their dad, who they probably loved and thought was brilliant. Anyway, he's disappeared now. And this also is Colorado, isn't it? I think this is there's something about Colorado, I think. Definitely something about Colorado. You know, maybe it's just the vastness of it. You know, whenever it's places that are vast, huge places, there's always probably likely more things that are likely to happen there, isn't it? So anyway, the police are still saying that they think he's alive. I personally don't think he's alive myself. I think he may have done something to himself. But, you know, the police seem to be quite sure that he's still alive. So that's up to the, you know, they know obviously more than I do. So let's have a look. Let me take that down and let's have a look. Just put some windows down. Oh, just hang on a sec. One sec. Okay, can you hear me again now? Sorry about that. So that was my son's friend. So just going into a bit of waffle here before I go into this case. So I've got up this morning. There's one of those electric scooters in the middle of my living room. And I'm thinking, where the hell did that come from? I thought my son had stolen it or something to get home. Anyway, then a little bit less, I don't know where my son is. Then the doorbell goes, and I thought it was number 1 son. I thought, oh, he's left, you know, he's lost his key. open the door. So some young lad there that I've never seen before in my life. I say a young lad, he's in his 20s, late 20s probably, maybe even 30s, but he's still a young lad to me. Stood there, I don't know who was more surprised, me or him, because I've never seen him before, he's never seen me before. And he goes, oh, is Jack there? You know, and I'm like, no, he's not home yet. What do you mean he's not home yet? Oh, he left before me. He's got to, anyway. To cut a long story short, it was his scooter. Needed his scooter to get home. My son had said he'd leave it outside for him. He's not home yet, so he hasn't done that. Anyway, he got his scooter. He went off. The next minute, number one son comes home with another friend who quite regularly stays here because he doesn't actually live that far away, but it's up a great big hill. And when he's had too much to drink, he can't walk up this hill. So anyway, he's had to go now to work. So there you go. That's what's going on in the background of everything. So let's get back to this. What was I doing? Oh, that's right. I was going to share, wasn't I? Oh, that's right. I was going to put some windows down. Oh, it's totally distracted me now. I was going to... Yeah. So we're going to look at this case of Travis Decker then, this absolute monster who's killed his 3 daughters, allegedly, and then disappeared. So let me know what you think in comments. Do you think this guy's still alive? I personally don't think he is, but, you know, I'm sure the police think he is for a reason. I'd be very surprised if he is, but anyway. So yeah, the fugitive father who suffocated 3 daughters is still alive, the police say. Now, there was a supposed sighting of him, wasn't there? But that seemed to come to nothing. So police believe a Washington father accused of killing his 3 daughters is still alive and is evading capture as federal and state law enforcement search the wilderness for him. And Fox 13 reports that the police launched a search for Travis Decker on the night of May the 30th. So where are we now? So it's 21 days ago, 22 days ago, after his ex-wife said he failed to return their 3 daughters back from a scheduled visitation. So then, and these poor police as well, for having to find these poor little girls, the Wenatchee Police Department discovered 9-year-old Peyton Decker, 8-year-old Evelyn Decker, and 5-year-old Olivia Decker dead near the Rock Island campground on June the 2nd. So since June the 2nd, nothing, they don't know anything, do they? So the police suspect that Decker killed them during a planned visitation and then fled the area. And here he is. I mean, what a man, eh? What a man. What a man, what a man, what a man to kill 3 little girls. So isn't he an ex-Marine or something? You know, what sort of a man? You know, father or, you know, whether you're the father or not, fancy, you know, using your strength, using what you've learned as a Royal Marine to murder your daughters. You know, what piece of shit. What an absolute piece of shit this man is. You know, there's part of me that hopes he is dead. I know that sounds awful maybe, but there's part of me that hopes that. But then also I want him to be brought to justice. I want him to have to look people in the face. You know, why should he just get away with it by taking him off to another planet, though? You know, hopefully he won't, even if he has deleted himself, he'll still be spinning in hell, I hope. If we ever talked about anyone who deserves hell, you know, if you like, he is it, isn't he? He is it. he deserves to go to. Oh, David, don't put those initials up. What does that stand for? You know what I'm like. I don't do initials. What does U.S. Marine? Oh yeah, not Royal Marine. No, U.S. Marine Corps. Right. Well, look at that. I worked it out all on my own. Hi, Julie. Yeah, it's very hot, Julie, isn't it, at the moment? Oof, awful. It'll get hotter though. It'll get worse before it gets better, won't it? Will definitely get worse before it gets better. So yeah, oh, what a man, murdered 3 little girls. Oh, great big man, isn't he? Yeah, with his bloody muscles and his tattoos. Just shows you that's not what makes a man, is it? So investigators found the girls roughly 75 to 100 yards down an embankment with zip ties and plastic bags scattered nearby. The girls' wrists were or appeared to be zip tied. Each had a bag over her head, indicating they'd been suffocated. Those poor girls, what did they go through? So, they're still saying they think he's alive. They're continuing their search for I mean, they've got to search for him, whatever, whether they think he's alive or not. You know, he needs finding, because he's a danger, isn't he? I mean, he was a danger to his own daughters, so he wouldn't think twice about hurting someone else, would he? If you have trail cameras or doorbell cameras, please check them for suspicious activity. If you have residences in these areas, check them for anything missing, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant. See, I can't help but think if he was alive, he would have been spotted. I know they think they've had one sighting of him, but it's not been confirmed. Yeah, why hasn't he turned up on trail cameras or whatever? But where would he be? The only thing that makes me I thought if he'd deleted himself, I would have thought he would have been there with the girls. Where's he taking himself off to? Or is he just trying to wind the police up? I mean, supposedly he would know about survivalism, but then other people have been saying, oh, that's been blown out of all proportion. He doesn't know anything about survivalism, really. Not he doesn't know anything, but he doesn't know any more than, what he knows is nothing special. He's not like some Rambo type character. So, yeah. Last week, the Chilan County Sheriff's Office said they had seen someone, or hikers said they'd seen someone near Kolchuk Lake who appeared unprepared for the wilderness. I don't think he would be unprepared, though, would he? Anyway, here's some more photos of his tattoos, what he might look like. Of course, he could have cut his ponytail off by now. He could be wearing completely different clothes. I mean, he can't change his tattoos, of course. So police then spotted an off-trail hiker from a helicopter, but the person ran out of view as an aircraft passed. And officials deployed police dogs and tracked the man to the Ingalls Creek trailhead near US Route 97, but didn't capture him. Was it him, though? Was it just, could be somebody else just trying to avoid being found? Anyway, due to safety concerns, do not attempt to contact or approach Decker, as he has extensive military training. So this is turning into a big long manhunt, isn't it? Are they going to find him? So there's a reward of up to $20,000 for information that leads to his arrest. He's described as a white male who stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighs around 190 pounds, black hair, brown eyes, and last seen wearing a light coloured shirt and dark shorts. Well, he could be wearing anything now, couldn't he? He could, so this must have been when he was last seen. He could be wearing anything now. Let's see what else I can find, if there's anything else. So, where is he? Yeah, they might believe he's still alive. Personally, I don't think he is alive. Let's have a look at this, actually.
Authorities have released new photos, hoping that it will help lead them to. Authorities have released new photos, hoping that it will help lead them to Decker. Meanwhile, detectives continue to follow up on leads as well as reviewing lab results from evidence found at the scene. As the search continues for 32-year-old Travis Decker, wanted for the murder and kidnappings of his 3 young daughters, authorities continue to utilize all resources available, from air and ground support from neighboring counties, SWAT and search and rescue teams, the Washington Army National Guard, and the U.S. Marshals Service. And new photos released show how Decker may look if he tried to change his appearance. Denny Barron was with the U.S. Marshal Service for 27 years, specializing in tracking down fugitives to areas nationwide and even abroad. Now retired, he's been following the search for Decker closely. They have skill sets, they know the case, they can answer any questions about it, and they can provide.
You know, when I look at him, I just think, oh, yeehaw, good old American boy. You know, how all the immigrants get all the blame for all the bad things in the world. Lots of good old American boys commit terrible crimes. People forget about that, don't they? It's like, oh, God, illegal immigrant kills someone, which is terrible. Don't get me wrong. It's terrible. When somebody who shouldn't even be in the country ends up killing someone. But we must never forget, just because someone's a good old American boy, an ex-serviceman, you know, he's done this heinous crime, killed his own 3 little daughters. Don't get much worse than that, do you, if you were putting crimes into criteria? So we mustn't forget that. You don't hear Donald Trump going on about that, do you? Oh, you know, because at the end of the day, these servicemen need looking after, because they end up with mental health issues and PTSD and this, that, and the other. Not that I'm using that as an excuse, because I think there's lots of service people that have PTSD but don't murder their daughters. But you don't hear Donald Trump and all them whinging on about this, like, oh, it's terrible. No, but if he was an immigrant who'd done that to his kids, would be all over everything. I think it's been pretty quiet on social media, this case. Personally, you know, you get the likes of JLR and all them that, you know, are always raging on about immigrants. You know, why don't you sort of concentrate on some of the crimes done by Americans?
All the information that's necessary to track down the fugitive. In the latest update from the Chelan County Sheriff's Office, authorities say they are conducting follow-up interviews, reviewing data and analysis from evidence sent to the crime lab for processing, and using every resource available. One of the things that they have is a mobile van that is a U.S. Marshal's office, all encompassed in this huge trailer, and it's got satellite connections and things like that. And the local folks from the FBI would be able to access that information base. Though the search for Decker could now stretch into months and beyond, Barron maintains the U.S. Marshals Service has extensive experience tracking down fugitives in remote areas and abroad. We're in a situation now that may drag on for a while, but the Marshals Service won't give up on it. They will stay with this. And the reward for any information that leads authorities to Decker remains at $20,000. Authorities say that Decker should be considered armed and dangerous, and any information should be directed towards the U.S. Marshal Service. Reporting live in Seattle, Leanne Wynn, KOMO News.
So, yeah, that's basically, you know, where we are with that, which is, you know, personally, I don't think he's on this planet anymore, but we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Won't be the first time. But the police think he's still alive, and I can see a few of you think he's still alive. I mean, I don't say, what would he be doing? What's his purpose now? What's his you know, why would he still be alive? To do what? You know, reminds me a bit of the Brian Laundrie case. Well, the Gabby Petito case. And, you know, when we remember with Brian Laundrie, he was being seen all over the place. He was dead in the park. but this is what happens, isn't it? So, but the police are saying they think this guy's alive. So I presume they've got reason for thinking that. Maybe they have found some things that we don't know about. But to me, my logic says to me that he's not alive. But I don't know. Yeah. Okay, that's it. So finished. So I hope you found those interesting. As far as Ashley Murphy's concerned, her murderer is in prison. 12 years minimum sentence. Oh my God. Anyway, the other case that we looked at, of course, Suzanne Morphew. Hopefully, this time her husband will be convicted if he is guilty. Because it's only allegedly. He's innocent till he's proven guilty, of course. And then as far as hopefully before long we'll get some news about this big man, if he's been found or not. And I think I actually sort of hope that he isn't in this world anymore, because if he's not in this world anymore, he's already started paying for what he's done, But anyway, we'll see. Time will tell.